Hey guys, how's it going? To celebrate 500 subscribers, I'm just here with a few friends. This was supposed to be Q&A. Of course, I didn't really get any questions, but yeah, well, I got one question.
500!
One
500
question from each
subscribers.
subscriber.
How can that be? Yeah, yeah, we got 500 questions here.
Well, I started YouTube like 3 years ago. Originally it was supposed to be like a podcast, but yeah, just kind of
The
talked
old
about
women cast.
gaming. Yeah, just talked about retro gaming, and here I am now.
Now you're kicking fucking ass.
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah, it's been cool, I just want to say. And like mentioned, we're going to get into a little Q&A section. Throw some questions your way. I'm sure the audience would like to get some perspectives from you on the various questions we have. I just want to say, super proud of you. This is great success. I feel like for a while, like it was slow going, but then they always say with YouTube, it's like that peak will then suddenly it grows faster. I feel like 400 to 500's gone pretty fast.
And you've got some nice momentum going too. So you can easily keep those videos coming and just keep riding that.
Well, I mean, honestly, yeah, like the transition between 400 to 500, it was kind of weird. Like I got here rather quickly. I figured it would have taken me a bit longer.
Hey, it's getting there. Like I said, I think they always say with YouTube, once the algorithm likes you, it's good going. I think for you too, with you upload like so frequently and have like that set schedule that I don't see any reason this train would slow down. Like I think we're gonna be back for 1,000 subs by before the end of 2024. I'm just throwing out that prediction.
I don't know about that. I might hit 1,000 in 2025, but I don't know about 2024.
Let's aim for
Well, at
700
least
and see if
be a
that
few
catapults
hundred.
into 1,000. Let's try that. Because I mean, yeah, you've got your momentum. People are obviously loving some of these newer videos you got during that whole 400 to 500 stretch. So
They
yeah.
were not too fond of your everything after the GameCube was trash video. That one seemed. But aside from that one,
Well, you're gonna ignite some things when you title a video like that.
as soon as I saw the title, I went, "Okay, what is this? I gotta hear this."
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
with that video, I kind of wanted to make a point, but I feel like it was kind of understated between like the fake rage, like the Wii trash, PS3 trash, PS5, like I feel like they made a point, but it was kind of understated between all the all the fake rage and shit.
Yeah.
I feel like it was the title mostly. But it's not like you hate like a 360 or something.
Oh yeah,
I feel
no.
like and the title got the results needed. It got because as soon as I saw that title, I went, okay, I gotta hear this.
But like my overall point with that video is that when Nintendo released the GameCube, I would say that was like Nintendo's peak, at least for me. Now, yes, it was a huge dose of nostalgia in there, but like this is when Nintendo was throwing everything at the wall because, of course, they were in like a bad financial state. Like the only thing holding up Nintendo financially during the GameCube era was the Game Boy. So like with that, they kind of just threw everything they could at the wall when it came to GameCube. Like take Animal Crossing for example. That's a game with a whole concept.
But hadn't
Let's just
hadn't
say,
the I think Animal Crossing had been in development all the way back to the N64. That wasn't made entirely for the GameCube.
that's right. I think I might be wrong on that, but but
It
hold on,
definitely
time.
cemented a personality for the GameCube. It was like that is one of those games where if you say what's a GameCube game, it's going to be like Animal Crossing, Luigi's Mansion,
Yeah,
Melee,
yeah,
all that stuff.
Because I mean, like, just from like the games, Nintendo just threw just everything at the wall at the GameCube because, of course, they kind of had to.
Yeah, that's definitely a correct statement. There is that they
Also,
were experimental.
I'd say the GameCube represents kind of, even though Nintendo, I mean, the Wii and the Switch now, sales wise, has had done very well and throughout time till this day. But I'd say GameCube almost represents the last time Nintendo was like a competitor in a way. Again, I know they have the sales, but like
Well, I
after the
mean-
Wii, I feel like people started looking at Nintendo as a separate thing from the two. Whereas the GameCube almost felt like the last like time it was the free in the same
Well, I mean-
like thing.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, just looking at it like, specs wise, the GameCube was as powerful as the OG Xbox, just of course in a smaller size. I mean, the Xbox, it's a great console, it has online, but the
Yeah.
GameCube, you get all that just in a very small package.
And then it's always interesting with Nintendo after the GameCube is kind of playing on what I was talking about. Like everybody always goes PS3 versus 360. Nintendo won that generation, which is interesting following the GameCube. I mean, from a sales wise, I don't consider it the one
Oh,
personally, but sales wise, yes.
With the
Oh,
Wii,
yes,
you're
yeah.
saying?
Yeah,
Yeah,
just from a pure sales wise.
yeah.
Now attachment rate and all that we can, but just objective sales wise. But Nintendo at that point, the GameCube was like the last time it was kind of looked at in a different way, and then they went off.
I
and,
can
like,
see
became
that.
This wheel side thing.
Yeah.
Where you buy a PlayStation or Xbox, and then you buy the Nintendo console.
Yeah.
The GameCube very powerful though. All, like you were saying, from a hardware standpoint.
And from a
I guess
cultural
so.
standpoint, also from a staying and like a emotional attachment it built with its audience, GameCube is a very special console that I don't think is something that will be easily recreated in today's world. I don't think.
Oh yeah.
Long live the tiny GameCube discs.
Absolutely, it's so cute. They're like, well, and I mean,
The GameCube has a handle on it. It's like a little lunchbox.
they knew what they were
Great.
doing. They were trying to do a Nintendo Switch thing where it was a mobile console. You could bring it to your friend's house and plug it in.
Yeah.
I guess you guys want to get started with questions. I actually have one question from Nightwatch. He says, "What's your top 10 games across all consoles?" Now, like, this is a very, very tough
Yeah.
I
question.
need to find the script for my top 10 games video. I gotta find
Oh
the script.
god.
All consoles definitely cover some ground.
Well, I mean, like,
God damn it.
I don't know if I could really answer that, but I could give you like my top 5 consoles because like
Is it games or consoles?
consoles I can't necessarily do games, that I could do top 5 consoles or top 10 consoles if you want.
Yeah, and I guess and
Yeah,
and the viewers can try to guess what those games are from each of those consoles.
All right, yeah, that works. I mean,
I think
for-
I can guess which console has like the best skate games. So I feel like I'm gonna lock it in.
Xbox 360's up there somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I know for my top 5, it's got to be OG Xbox, GameCube, Dreamcast, N64, and Xbox 360.
There it is.
Nice list.
Yeah, I mean that's solid. I mean, I love the Nintendo 64. It's got some of my favorite franchises ever on it. Either in its
Yeah.
earlier stages or in its like absolutely brilliant visualized realized way,
Mario
Um,
Kart 64 battle mode block tower map alone cements it in the top 5.
It's so good. And like
Yeah.
I love Zelda. And I think honestly, like, I still need to get an SNES just because I love A Link to the Past. But going from A Link to the Past to Ocarina of Time, oh my god, talk about a glow up. It's like absolute everything that you could possibly want realized in one game. It's so good.
And Nintendo really nailed the transition to 3D.
Yeah.
Better than a lot of companies who were struggling with it.
Well, they were
Nintendo
kind of-
put out solid ones.
They kind of like pioneered it, them and PlayStation.
Yeah.
So like if you're, and that's why the Nintendo 64 kind of sucks as a console also, is that while Nintendo's priority like first party games are amazing on it, the third party, like, they're trying to develop for a whole new dimension that they're not used to.
Yeah.
So
And
it can
then
lead
it's
to
got cartridges that holds it back and shit.
yeah, so it can lead to wacky controls or the game's not running great. So
Yeah. Although, to give credit, PlayStation didn't have sticks. Nintendo did when it launched.
Exactly.
Nathan,
Well, at least one.
you said you had some questions.
Yeah, I don't know if Locrian has any questions. I've got a big old list.
I'll let the viewers go first with their questions they've submitted.
Oh no, that's
yeah.
that's the only question we got.
Is that it? Oh, I thought that
Yeah.
I thought that Hathan had some.
You people had democracy. You could have sent questions. You failed democracy. This is how it dies. This is how democracy dies. One
With roaring silence.
You motherfuckers. You killed it. Now I'm gonna have to take over and be the emperor.
So, nostalgia.
Yeah.
What was like at like your earliest stages of gaming, a game that you completely like fell in love with and
God.
made your game? Like at the school ground, playground, people were talking about like what game you played. It was the first one that came to mind.
At my earliest stages, like I don't even fucking. You know what? No,
No.
no. It's just I have two answers for you. At my very earliest stage, I remember the day my dad came home with a Dreamcast
Ooh.
on launch day.
Yeah.
He set it up in the living room. He played Crazy Taxi. You know, he had his fun. Eventually, he went to sleep. I turned on the Dreamcast. I played Crazy Taxi, and I just kind of fell in love from there.
Yeah.
Like that's where gaming really started for me. I also have another example. So this was the day I got my Xbox 360. It was my 10th birthday, and I actually have a story for you if you guys want to hear it. Like,
I'm ready. Story time. Let's go.
all right. So like and this was like a fun memory too. So like my parents like brought cake and shit, and they were kind of weird with it. Instead of making hot dogs, hamburgers, they brought in crab legs for some
Wait, was
reason.
this for a birthday or celebrating getting the console?
No, it was my birthday, dude.
I thought they were really.
Dude, we love the Dreamcast. We buy a bunch of crabs.
Yeah. The Dreamcast, great console, way better than its competitor, the Nightmare Cast.
Right.
No, like I was turning 10 years old, and they brought fucking crab cakes. I mean, fucking crab legs. I don't know why they did that, but yeah, it was like me and my cousins, and of course we were like unboxing gifts. Not gonna lie, I as soon as I like tore off the gift wrapping, I fucking ran to my room, and I turned on the Xbox 360 for the first time, and it was just like a moment.
What games did you get? Was it?
Okay, here's the thing. I made this game my personality for years.
Burger King Racing.
Okay. To kind of quantify this, I was in like the fourth grade at the time, and I was going into middle school. The first year of middle school, this game was my fucking personality. So like I kind of just like unbox Xbox 360. I fucking run to my room. I turn it off for the first time, and the first game I got was the first EA Skate. Now, I can't even explain how much this game means a lot to me. This game got me into fucking skateboarding in real life. Like the only reason I skate today is because of this game, and I don't really know if I could explain that enough.
That's fucking
No,
awesome.
dude.
The game had like an impact. It led not only to the great game and great memory, it led to you getting into something else.
Yeah.
So the passion created a new passion.
And I'd say more than half of the people who are skating can agree or relate to that, where that game, or at least that franchise, got them into doing it in the first place.
Like, like even beyond that, like okay, like the real life skaters in the game, of course, I don't know if you guys are into like skateboarding at all, but I mean, of course, you got.
I know Tony Hawk. I know that one.
Yeah, I know that one.
Well, like the real life skaters in the game, I went like beyond the game, and I looked it up, and I became like a legit skateboarding fan from this game. Like I went to contests. I went to real skate parks.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I did as much as a kid could when it comes to skateboarding.
Yeah.
Like for my 11th birthday, my dad bought me a skateboard, and I rode that shit to death. In fact, I still got it to this day.
Yeah, I respect this story alone because if you ask me to like get on a skateboard and go down like they got like those dips in the ground, that alone would be terrifying enough.
Well, speaking of skateboarding, I actually got into like a skateboarding accident, well, not a real accident,
But yeah,
but like,
fell off or something.
well, like yeah. So I actually had to go to like the post office, and I figured, hey, it'd be a nice little cruise.
Right. Yeah.
So leading down to the post office, there's like a not a big hill, but kind of like a mellow hill. I really underestimated that hill. So even though it was kind of mellow, I was riding down, and of course, gradually, I gained speed. And see, okay, this is where it gets kind of dangerous. It's kind of like a T intercrossing, right?
Uh-oh.
So first you got the left and the right. The hill was a centerpiece. Now, luckily, no cars are coming, but of course, I'm going down at like 10 miles an hour, and I'm trying to figure out like, oh fuck, how do I turn? How do I turn? I of course slam. I land in the grass, and not gonna lie, my elbow. So my skin was like torn off.
Yep.
I,
Got road
I
rash.
yeah, I kind of just like had to block my face and just like take the road rash. But thankfully, no cars are coming though.
Yeah, that's a rough situation. I love that's such like a universal thing with like I guess riding a bike or a skateboard or whatever is like like you messed up and you can't stop it. You're just
Skateboards are fucking
And
terrifying to be in that situation.
dude, here's the thing. I know I'm getting old, so like at the time I felt it in my elbow, but like I landed on my hip.
Mhm.
So this took place like a month ago. Right now I'm feeling the pain in my hip from that time a month ago. Like the pain didn't even register, but for some reason now I'm feeling it. Like this is how I know I'm getting fucking old.
Yeah. Well, or you just seriously injured yourself and you're just walking it off. That's also a possibility. I'd say,
Either way,
if it keeps up, I might even advise seeing a doctor about it. But who knows? What do I know?
I mean, like the worst it gets is like one day I was just like walking the dog. I'm like, damn, where's that pain coming from in my hip? Like fuck, like it hurt to walk at some point, and it extremely hurts walking up the stairs whenever I feel it. But
Nostalgia, I wouldn't worry about it. The doctor doesn't have 500 subs.
So
I mean,
true.
you know.
I didn't think of that actually.
well, all right. I mean, like enough about skateboarding and shit. I guess Anthony Guxon or Luperian got another question.
Yeah, picking a good one. I'll start with a basic one. Now, Lockery, do you collect games?
Well, let me not to completely go into another side tangent, but let's say that I was heavily considering buying a Nintendo 64 and collecting games, and I kind of like put it off to like a future thing, like, oh, that'd be fun to do, but like I don't know how realistic it is. And then I stream, I play video game, and Nostalgia comes into one of my Jet Set Radio live streams, and he starts talking, shows me his collection, and I'm like, damn, okay, so this is like something that you can do, and when you do it, it's awesome. So I actually literally like later that week I just went to my local game store, bought a 64, and I've been collecting games ever since for that console.
Yeah, he got you in the.
He's the reason.
The program's ruined about people like him.
He's the reason.
Spending all your money on games.
Exactly.
Hey kid, you ever think about collecting Nintendo 64? Have the first cartridge.
Yep.
Always free.
He is my dealer. That is correct.
Yeah, he pays you in the cartridges.
Yep. But yes, I do collect games.
Nice.
So, continuing with your question, because that was how that whole thing went.
Well, I'll throw out a basic one. I got some weird ones down the road, but The basic one. Let's start off easy. What's a console that you don't currently collect for that you would want to start collecting for?
I want to say the Sega Saturn. No,
Ooh.
I actually got the story with this one. I
Oh,
actually
you
have a friend.
owned one.
I did.
Uh,
I have a friend on Discord. He was selling some games and he offered me a Sega Saturn. He gave me, I think he gave me Daytona USA and like a Iron Man game. And not gonna lie, I enjoyed those games. I had the Sega Saturn. I loved it. That game is extremely difficult to collect for. Like every game on that console is $100.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems
Now,
like that.
now, like the general rule is like if you're gonna collect games, hey, you might want to go for like the $20 range, where it's a good game. $50 range, okay, you're balling out. You're getting some decent stuff. If the game's over $100, you you're really fucking rolling in it, dude.
you
Like,
better really want to play that game a lot and get your money for it.
I'd say
yeah,
once
like,
you own Mr. Bones, your collection is complete,
yeah, like I love the Sega Saturn, but like I just I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But if I was like fucking Bill Gates, I would definitely collect for the Sega Saturn.
If I had fucking 70 billion, I'd just go on eBay in one day and get everything I need for life.
The Sega Saturn is such a fun era in gaming. What was that in between? Like what systems was that in the middle of?
The
Preemptively launched.
before, like it's weird. Whenever I think of that generation, the I kind of always associate the Sega Saturn last.
Yeah.
Like when it comes to that generation specifically, I'm kind of just like all about the N64. And you know what? The PS1 is another good example. So like, I have PS1 and a couple of games for it, but here's my one quirk with the PS1. And don't get me wrong, I love the PS1 for what it is. I respect it. With the PS1, it's quantity over quality. Like the PS1 has like 500 games, and it's kind of hard to find stuff that's good. It's kind of like the Wii. Like with the Wii, it has a bunch of shovelware, and you kind of have to dig deep to find like good stuff. I mean, of course, you got Mario Galaxy. You have a few you
Right.
have great games, but the PS1 is kind of similar. Like it has great games, of course. Grand Theft Auto, Crash Bandicoot, No One Could Stop Mr. Domino, fucking Ape Escape, Mega Man. Great games, but you got some stinkers, here
Well,
and there.
it's also it lasted 2 generations, right? It was between the SNES and the Nintendo 64, right?
Yeah.
So it makes sense how it accumulated all those games just through its lifespan,
That's what I love about. That's what intrigues me about the idea of collecting for is the amount of like weird shit. You go on eBay and look at newly listed PS1 games, and you'll see shit you never heard of.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think you bring up a good point though, because like the PS1 did release in 1994, and like in 1994, that was pure Super Nintendo Sega Genesis. To get a PS1 back in 1994, like the holy shit, that's something weird to think about.
Yeah. You do have to give it credit for like it was a pretty powerful system and it lasted.
Was.
It did last all those years.
I mean, it even even beyond that, it went like beyond the PS2 era because like, I could actually show you on the camera. Obviously, YouTube, you see a good picture.
Well, also you gotta remember the PS2 was backwards compatible. So
Well,
if you're a company, you're gonna make a game for the PS1
Yeah.
to appeal to double the libraries or double the
Like,
value.
I have the PS1 Slim with the screen. Now
Nice.
this model released back in 19. No, this released back in 2000. So like this model came out as soon as the PS2 released, and I think the PS1 lasted even beyond the PS2 era because like it's weird. It got games like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4. That game released for the PS2. Now, granted, the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 for the PS1, that is a very, very shitty port. And I think that game came out in like 2003, 2004. So even in the 2000s, the PS1 still got a lot of games.
It's long living. It's that library's always really intrigued me for that reason. There's the amount of stuff on there. Like even if a game's not good or like a quote unquote hidden gem, there's just like weird shit on there that's like intriguing to like pick up and play.
Yeah.
And there's like an endless like this mound to mine. Like it's just an endless amount of like shit to get.
You learn about it and you're like, oh wow, this actually existed at some point. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's
Weird license stuff.
yeah.
I guess.
Think for me, I'll just throw it out there. Like I'm at a point now where like all the consoles I want are like 500 and I can't justify it. But
Mhm.
like the Philips CDI has always been intriguing just for like the weirdness of its library.
Yeah, like not gonna lie, there's honestly not too many consoles I want at this point. I'm probably gonna get a Master System one day, and probably a 2600, and that's it.
Oh yeah, the
Like,
Atari.
I don't really need anything else.
The Atari would be
The only
awesome
ones
to
I-
own.
Well, the only other ones I need is the Toy Jaguar and the Vectrex. But I mean, the Vectrex is
Oh,
700.
That is the Vectrex is like super deep, you know?
Yeah,
That's a
like,
cool
it's like,
console.
It's just so expensive though. 200, I would have got one, but I just can't justify like full of 500.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I could buy one, but I'd rather have that money.
Dude, the way that the controller just kind of goes into the bottom. Oh, it's so awesome.
Yeah, it's like such like it's like an iconic thing too. It's like I'd
You-
love to experience those Vectrex graphics like on the thing.
It's this actually kind of goes to a question that I have for nostalgia, where it's like a lot of those early games, its entire appeal was getting the arcade to your house, you know?
Yeah.
And I mean, Crazy Taxi is a great example of like this arcade-based gameplay, which is super replayable and super fun, like as an actual mainline game. And I don't think that's ever going to happen in today's world. I don't think that arcade-style games are even being made by like indie developers in some cases.
Well, that comes from the Dreamcast was like the time like the goal was achieved. Arcade ports and the Dreamcast were 1-1 finally.
Yeah.
Like the home port. So it's almost like and Sega was their arcade roots.
Yeah, the home console had finally
Yeah.
caught up. Yeah.
Yeah, Crazy Taxi is just such from that era. And I mean, there was some stuff later, like Smash and Drive is similar, but like you're like, yeah, I think aside from maybe some indie, you won't probably see much of that.
Well, I mean, speaking of Smash and Drive, I actually remember the arcade. I actually remember the arcade machine. Like it was actually at a local laundromat, and
I forgot it was an arcade machine.
And it's kind of weird. Like I remember playing that game a lot. Like whenever my mom brought me to the laundromat, I'd always like bake for some quarters and just play that game for hours.
It's a fun arcade game. It's weird it got a console port. Like if you bought it for 60 or 50, like it's a well made like racing game.
Yeah,
Or, like arcade beat the clock style.
Yeah. And I just don't. Do you think about like? Can you think of a single franchise that entirely exists as just arcade gameplay in today's world? Like
I really can't.
I can't either.
no.
And honestly, like it's kind of migrated to the mobile platform, you know?
Yeah.
Like
Most
that.
forgotten is mobile phones game is being turned into arcade stuff at Dave and
It's-
Buster's, but like that's the
it's-
closest.
And see, like that's the weird thing. Like I remember when mobile games used to be good. Like
Yeah.
I remember fucking Angry Birds, Fruit Ninja, Temple Run, Subway. Well, Subway Surfers is still
I
around.
love.
But
Sonic vs.
all of
Zombies.
that is like you could see that being an arcade cabinet. You know, like
Yeah.
it's that type of gameplay, and that's where that's where it lives now, and it's really weird because that used to be like the big deal. Like, oh my god, I'm playing Ninja Gaiden at home. It's like all that
yeah.
stuff. It's
I went
crazy.
to an arcade like 2 months ago out in Seattle, and the amount of like phone games that are now arcade
Yeah,
games.
yeah.
There's like a Minecraft one.
I
and
wish-
shit.
Arcades don't even look like an arcade from like
Dude,
a couple like 10 or 20 years ago. It's like
They
Dude,
also Chuck E.
dude,
Cheese like
dude.
game model of like not really arcade.
yeah.
the thing that gets me is that they don't even do coins anymore. They have these like
Look
credit
like
cards.
cards.
Yeah,
Oh my
Like,
Chuck E.
what
god.
Cheese got rid of the coins and the ticket. That's the fucking part of the magic. You fucking. Why does everything have to be digital? You
Because then
fuck
you don't
ass?
know how much money you're spending.
I can take the fucking
But-
rat and his band and shove it up your ass.
I honestly,
Fuck you.
I really want to find a place that's like an actual arcade, like real machines that are just there, ready to be
Well,
played.
I have
Well,
one next to
dude,
me
I
that
feel
still
like-
does the coins like that and stuff, but it's
I feel
small.
like the only place you could find arcades like that is that like carnivals,
Yeah.
boardwalk. Like near me is like a beach, and there's only one arcade like that to this day that still accepts quarters and tickets.
Yeah, but even then, sorry that we're going on this tangent, but like the fuck, like they're not even the original machines. They're all like the
Yeah.
Namco remake machines that are not even running an actual game. It's just an emulator, like it's
Like,
got an
one
LED
point-
screen. No, it's like, come on.
I feel like the way to make an arcade work, like even the one next to me that has like the coins and a lot of the original machines, it's also half like tabletop game seller.
Yeah,
So, like I feel like you have to have that or like the Bocade model.
I'd say make
like,
it
you
make
have
it
to, like,
make it a
hide it.
bar. Like have a bar,
Yeah,
but have like actual arcade machines in the corner too.
I can put a stripper up there on a pole dressed as video game characters.
Who
I mean,
needs
that's
a-
some energy?
Who needs a stripper when you've got Donkey Kong?
Yeah.
That's my quote of the day.
I wanna put that on a t-shirt.
I guess Haytham, you got another question?
Yeah, let me pull up the Google Doc. Alright. You wake up one day, right?
Okay.
You find out your favorite game console has become alive and is now talking. And it's annoying. What do you do?
Wait, the console is like a pet? It's like
The
alive?
console has come alive. It is sentient. It is speaking. It has a lot of political opinions that it.
Oh,
will
no.
exist constantly.
Okay. I'm gonna sound like a fucking schizo, but like I feel like
Yeah, you can't tell anybody about this. It's Toy Story, by the way, so it won't talk when you bring somebody in.
Well, okay. I feel like each console kind of has its own personality, especially the 3D consoles. Like the OG Xbox, I feel like has
Oh, dude.
edge. If the OG Xbox was alive, I could imagine the fucking personality it
Yeah.
has.
No, you can absolutely, yeah. I mean, it is essentially just the Xbox gaming like stereotype. It would be a monster dude and oh yeah, I could absolutely see that.
Yeah, he's asking you, put Limp Bizkit on. We got-
Yes, break stuff. Just one of those days.
And by the way, it doesn't respect you when you're sleeping. It's not
It doesn't respect anyone. It has no fucks.
Yeah. When it wants to talk, it will talk. And it might be slightly insulting.
Oh, it absolutely would be.
Another console I can imagine with a personality is the GameCube. That's another one I could see with a personality. Besides
GameCube would
that,
be nice, I feel like.
maybe the Dreamcast.
I feel the GameCube would be very like reserved, kind of like in the background type guy.
Yeah. It would talk to you and try its best, but it's not like interrupting. It's
It
doing
wouldn't.
its own thing, but
It wouldn't want to
won't.
offend you. It would just kind of just be like a pal, a good friend.
I feel like
Dreamcast would just be like an overly hopeful like guy trying to push a message. Like
He'd be
about
like one of
Jesus.
those guys on like in like Hollywood who's like giving his card. Like
Yeah.
I'll make it someday.
I feel like the PS2 would be the overly douchebag popular guy.
Yeah, the PS2 would be a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
It's so arrogant.
The PS3 would be like the PS2's son that like never had to work a day in its life.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Oh wait. Oh, okay. Now that you bring up the Dreamcast, this is gonna be fucking dark.
Yeah.
I kind of imagine the Dreamcast with like a bald looking going through like chemo and shit, and he has to walk with the IV.
Damn.
Just-
It wasn't that bad. It had Sonic Adventure.
Yeah. Cast your dreams away, kids. They'll
all-
just be that dreams because they'll only be in your head.
I should have known I was fucked when I had Sonic as my main game.
Yeah. In the 90s, I had it all, and look at me now, kids.
What would the N64 be?
I feel like the N64 would just be like, I don't know.
He's that guy who, like, you and him have one thing in common, but outside of that, like,
I would
there's not
do-
much going on.
You know, like the evolutionary, like the monkey to man or whatever.
Yeah,
Like
the evolution.
he is the he's like the start of the next evolution of man.
Actually, wait, I got another good one. I feel like this Sega Genesis would be like a very goofy '90s guy or like an '80s guy. Like I
Yeah.
could imagine Sega Genesis being a person.
He would gatekeep like everything.
But he would
Yeah.
be like that cool uncle who has like the leather jacket and smokes.
That's SNES. No, sorry.
Yeah.
No, that would be NES.
No,
NES
you're
is the
right.
boomer.
No, you're right. That is the SNES.
Really? But that's 90s.
No. Here's the thing. I imagine the Sega Genesis as a douchey '90s guy, but I feel like the SNES is a calm, cool alternative.
Yeah,
to that.
the cool uncle.
Yeah, I
Like
see.
the Sega Genesis has to be the cool, edgy uncle. The Super Nintendo is like Jerry Seinfeld, nice guy, but like not edgy.
Nah,
I think Genesis is an asshole.
yeah,
Genesis is like the Bill Hicks, and the SNES is like Seinfeld.
He'd walk like the Genesis guy would walk over to the SNES guy and be like, it's like I bet you don't know the blood code, like like he'd feel superior.
Yeah.
Now, okay, I have one for the Atari 2600. I don't own it, but I know the personality.
Well, the 2600 you said?
Yeah, he would be like a very mean, asshole-ish businessman from the 70s. Like he would be pure 70s, and he would be like he would own like a Fortune 500 company. And
He would be like a rich, but like I'm thinking like because if we're thinking in terms of like today, it'd be like this crippled old guy, but he's like extremely rich.
But he has a muscle because he's
yes.
trying to stay youthful and relevant.
I kind of see that though.
He tells you stories about all the coke he did on Wall Street in '77.
It's like you fancy you kids in your new dimensions.
Yeah.
And Sega Genesis would be like, "Shut up, old man." That'd be an amazing family get together. It's like all the consoles.
Although you know what's weird though? It's kind of weird how we could imagine personalities for these consoles, but we couldn't really do that like today.
So the Xbox One, the Xbox One would have identity issues because it wouldn't know who it is in relation to its brothers and sisters.
I feel like this Switch would be. I feel like this Switch would be a calm, cool guy. Like he'd be.
I think the Switch would be like a content creator, like a personality, like an internet personality.
Yeah.
See, I'm picturing the Switch as the guy that's always on the go, traveling with the Jeep and like hippie-ish.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
it's like it's on the move. Maybe it's a vlogger. The Switch is a vlogger.
The travel vlogger.
He's like desperately trying not to be like problematic or get canceled.
I feel like the PS5.
Oh, and its dad is extremely demanding and controlling.
Oh, I fucking see that.
Because the dad is the Wii U.
No, their
dad didn't make it. He's trying to live through its son.
Their dad is Shigeru Miyamoto.
Excited.
I feel like the PS5 would be like fucking Kim Kardashian, like
yeah, I
like
can see that.
It would be all fancy and shit.
Yeah, the PS5 was on Epstein's list. It's just a celebrity type.
And like for the Xbox Series S, I don't know if it.
Well, so I view that like Xbox One, Xbox One X, Xbox Series X, and Xbox S, like those are all like siblings. They're all siblings.
Yeah.
So they don't know which one is like favored more. They're always like fighting for which one's loved by their big daddy Microsoft.
I know a full-way conjoined twin. So trying to figure it out. That question yielded better results than I expected.
Well, that was a fun like thinking. But like that was, it does show like each console does have its own personality. So imagining how they would interact with each other, that's pretty crazy to think about.
Yeah, this is funner than I thought it would be.
I guess any more questions?
I have one about.
I got a lot, but
yeah, I want to hear you do it. I want to hear yours.
Well, mine's a little long. Let Lockgreen go.
All right. Well, mine was like kind of just thoughts on like the modern gaming industry and like how it's changed.
Well, I feel like I feel like it could be good and bad.
Yeah.
So okay, I don't want to go on a tangent, but like we have to bring up GTA 6. I feel like
Wait, what do we have to do?
Bring up
Yeah.
GTA 6.
Oh, yeah. That's gonna be interesting.
GTA 6, it's either going to change the industry for the good or for the bad. But either way, I'm fucking hyped. But the industry as it is right now, I feel like it could be run a lot better because I feel like we're fucked on all sides. Multiplayer, you have fucking loot boxes, monetization,
Yeah.
and then with single player, you have, not gonna lie, like games that aren't really interesting.
I'm looking at Call of Duty, like the newest one, right?
Mhm.
And that is a $70 game which has a battle pass. And it's like, at what point did we stop owning the game? Because
Exactly.
like you
Yeah.
buy something and you're like, I buy like Nintendo, right? I have Mario Kart Wii, which had online play, and it's weird how that can just be taken away the moment that the company's like, okay, we're not making money off of this anymore. You know, it's like
Yeah.
it's crazy that they can just take features away.
And now
stuff.
the next Xbox won't even have a physical drive. So
Yeah.
you're gonna be supposed to the old digital.
Well, I mean, like, here's where I feel fucking frustrated. So, like, apparently they released the PS5 Slim, but in order to have a disk drive, you need to be connected to the internet. That is fucking dystopian.
It's
What the
Yeah.
fuck?
it's a like the way that you play video games is completely different. The way, like, the format that they are in is completely different, and like the legal side of like, do you truly own it is gone. It's like,
Isn't there something in like the terms of service buried where you don't actually own it? You're like renting the use of it.
I
thought
don't
read
know.
that somewhere in there.
I don't know.
Like,
I wouldn't be
you don't technically
surprised.
own it.
Like in terms of
Well,
like subscription models, I guess that obviously makes
Like,
sense.
You're renting the license to use it.
Oh,
It's some weird thing.
yeah, I've heard
So, like,
that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's some weird shit.
But, like, again, I just feel like we're fucked at all angles. Multiplayer, monetization, single player games. With Spider-Man 2, a lot of people say they don't like the Mary Jane missions. They don't like the Death Chick missions. And they kind of said the same thing about Spider-Man 1, but it doesn't really seem like they listened. And
Yeah,
even-
memo too. A lot of these, like, people have critiques, like, but the games usually sell well. Like, even some of the most hated on games. Sell very well.
The thing you always have to keep in mind when it comes to that stuff, like, why isn't the company listening to our feedback, is because they don't care. Like, they will sell the
It's all about
game.
money.
If they can sell the game, and like, why would you spend money and time fixing a problem that doesn't actually matter in the long run for them? It's
And
They have like a lot of outrage. Like,
I feel like
Cyberpunk got taken off the PlayStation Store. Like, you need something
well,
big enough. For
yeah,
company
the
to
game
do it.
needs to work first of all.
Yeah,
and I feel like the only good game that released this year, at least to me, because I don't really pay attention to most modern games, was Bomb Rush Cyberpunk.
That
To me, that's game of the fucking year.
Well, I think that's also like the indie world, because what's weird is how indie developers have kind of gained more respect than the AAAs.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, speaking of indie side, I mean, of course, you got Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, you have Hi-Fi Rush, you have Hades, all these great games. Yet on the AAA side, it's just pure bullshit.
Yeah, it's so the monetization, money speaks first and foremost, and the fact that we have allowed that just by supporting those companies and that way of making money, that's going to be here for the long term, because that's how it works.
I'll say I have like a few thoughts I want to throw out real quick on this. I think GTA 6 will have an impact, and Red Dead Redemption 2's online failed. So if GTA 6 is online somehow doesn't do well, I think you'll see that'll have an impact.
I honestly, I would not be surprised if they just port GTA Online from GTA 5 to GTA 6.
Yeah, I could see that. Or like at least the skeleton of it.
Yeah.
But I say also, I think gaming now, while I have my concerns about where it's heading, it's better now than it was in like 2015 when you just had lots of broken shit. And I feel like the microtransactions have been pulled back a bit. At least, like they're not invading like story and stuff as much. And but I will say, I think the future of gaming, like there's a GTA Online is very influential on how companies do how they make the games going forward. Like Sony is basing off Destiny and games as a service, but also there's a lot of games that'll have an impact that you don't hear about. Like Roblox right now, I believe might be the best earning game every year, and that game just implemented AI tech.
Oh
So I
no.
think it's gonna get easier. I know we're all gonna die into AI. Let's just admit it. But I think AI creation is gonna enable indie developers to make bigger projects,
Yeah, I
and I
guess.
think that's gonna have an impact
The whole AI
because,
situation,
like,
that's a whole nother
yeah,
thing. If we want to
that's
end
a
our
panel.
little podcast, we cannot go on that down that road.
Well,
Maybe another
Yeah,
time, maybe
9
another
hours
episode.
later.
Well,
I
like,
hesitated bringing it up because like I have so much to say that
Yeah,
we
I'm
did
going
not
to
start.
draw a line in the sand and say we just don't
Yeah.
have the time to talk about that.
yeah.
We'll probably
well,
talk. Hopefully not. That's all we can say.
well, I mean, like, get it. I guess to bring it back to like a positive. I mean, like, I don't know. There's still decent stuff. Like I said, Bomber Cyberpunk. Like
Yeah.
I don't really give a shit what they say Game of the Years to be. To me, that's it. That's it. The game was an automatic success at launch. They're still, releasing mods for that game. I can't say enough about Bomber Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess well, look here. What was your question?
It was about the modern industry. That was it.
Oh,
It was like,
we got off on a tangent, so
Yeah.
we forgot the question.
but that was
oh,
about
shit.
it. It's like, because like the AAA thing, I honestly don't see much passion in those games. You know?
and like here's the thing. So like, Bomber Cyberpunk is a perfect example.
Yeah.
We've been begging Sega for years to do something with Jet Set Radio.
Yeah.
We all love Jet Set Radio, and they didn't do anything. But
And that's
it
why
was-
indie games are so awesome, is because that team cared so much about that whole franchise that they're just like, fuck it, we're gonna make our own.
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, especially as AAA games just take so long to get out. You're not going to get full Uncharted in a generation.
Well, and
You're
also
gonna get
you
one game
if
from a
Sega
developer.
if Sega made a cyber, or what is it, a Jet Set Radio game, like, that's not gonna reach nearly the same amount of people as a new Sonic
Yeah.
game, So they just didn't do it.
Yeah, the people probably aren't even there that made the original game. Like, the name can be the same, but the people and the teams at the time, like, it's hard to capture that again.
Yeah, it's just not a big enough franchise to justify them spending the time and money on making a full-fledged game.
Well, Nathan, you got any more questions?
I have a question. It's
What's up?
it's a little long though.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I
Oh,
thought of this when I was very tired in the moment and slightly
By the way,
drunk yesterday.
Real,
This-
real quick. We're approaching
Yeah.
the hour mark. You guys want to go for an hour and 30 minutes, or go for?
how about-
my good soul? We are at 50 minutes. We are not an hour.
I'd say do this question and wrap it up.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, this is a would you rather question.
Okay.
So everybody pay attention. That you're gonna be playing a couch co-op game. It's a great game, but you gotta get through it, okay?
All right.
There's 4 people you can have sitting next to you on the couch. The first one is somebody who only has 1 finger on each hand, so 2 fingers total. And this is an intense game. The next person is a very confused 95-year-old who doesn't understand video games, and he's going to be yelling at you angry. And he doesn't understand the 3-dimensional aspect of the game.
Yep.
The next one is a crazy schizophrenic who's constantly taking either meth or downers. So they're helpful sometimes, but they're very neurotic. And finally is Ronald McDonald. Now he is helping you, but he's also plotting physical violence against you and will chuck any item on the McDonald's menu. Once a minute, he will attempt to chuck it at you. And it's not a precise minute, so you don't know when it's coming.
Right.
Which one of these people?
Oh,
You got the
God.
guy with the
And
finger
it's
on
for
each
a
hand.
it's for a couch co-op game.
They're sitting next to you, and you have to get through this game. Like, your life depends on it.
And I gotta choose one of them?
There's a 6-hour game, your life depends on it. The guy with one finger on each hand, the crazy 95-year-old who doesn't understand the game, the crazy schizophrenic taking downers and meth, so he's sometimes hopeful, and Ronald McDonald, who will be chucking a menu item from the McDonald's menu at your head at every minute or so.
I'll take the schizo.
What game are you playing?
It's a nondescript game.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like if you choose the guy to say what game are you trying to like succeed in at the same time? Like you pick the guy and the game.
It's a 3D puzzle game that sometimes has platforming and
Oh, no.
shoot 'em up elements. It's a very unique game.
How about this? I figured it out. I actually figured it out. Okay. I take the schizo. And we're playing we would be playing Mario Galaxy. I would be controlling Mario and the schizo would just be like trying to get the star bits with the other controller.
Remember, he is helpful when he's on the map. But
Exactly.
He's taking downwards, so he's going up and down.
But the star
And he's pretty-
they're not necessary. It's like the perfect
Yeah.
like little brother game.
Yeah, just give him the controller that's not
Yeah.
plugged in.
I think that's the only correct answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I'm tempted to take Ronald, but I feel like if he hits, because you feel like you can dodge it if it's it's been about a minute. But if he hits you once with like a saucy burger and it gets in your eyes, then you're fucked.
Yeah,
So I guess it's
Okay. Hold up. So
Ronald would be helpful when he's not sabotaging you.
Wait a minute. Are the burgers hot or are they just like cold or are they stale?
They all they're not piping hot. They're not going to physically burn you, but they all warm.
Yeah.
Because what about like the coffee?
But it's not just burgers though. Remember, it's any item.
Yeah, imagine if he threw like the McDonald's coffee at you, like that would not be
the coffee
great.
will not kill you or burn you.
Okay.
It'll nothing. The heat will not be the problem.
The wetness, the moist will be.
It can get in your eyes. And, I mean, I think ice cream could be coming at you. The machines are working in this McDonald's.
Oh damn. Okay, so this is like top tiered McDonald's.
Yeah, I think they got salads at McDonald's.
It is the Ronald McDonald. He's the one in
got
control.
The whole McDonald's menu item.
Yeah.
He prepped.
I just think it's a losing situation.
Well, especially because it's every minute or so. Because he might give an extra 10 seconds, so he's not as predictable as. And I thought, once he hits you once in the face or something, I feel like you're probably fucked.
Yeah, it'll be right when you like need to make a specific jump. You're like, yeah.
All right, I think we do one more question.
I think we all agree it's Schizo probably.
Schizo Mario Galaxy is like the perfect combination.
Yeah, you agree, right? The Schizo taking ups and downers.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I think that is the right answer. Ronald is a close second, and the other two are useless.
The grandma can be
No
fun.
offense to anybody with one finger on each hand listening. This is not directed at you.
Well, I mean, they could be useful for an NES game
Or an Atari game.
That is true. Especially that one finger is probably muscular. You can probably control the joystick better than any human.
Yep.
Any human. The guy is human. He's just different. Anyway. It's fucking nightmare creature. Alright, should we do one more quick question? Or?
It has to be quick.
One more.
Okay. Favorite food? That's the stupidest bullshit basic one I have. Or food you enjoy a lot.
Food I enjoy a lot.
Maybe a top 3. Quick.
Top 3. All right. Ribs.
Don't have to be in order.
Burgers. Fucking ice cream.
New York style pizza, spaghetti, and lasagna. I love my Italian food.
Steak, fried chicken, and Main Street microwavable mac and cheese. I'll take a Bob Evans mac and cheese too.
All right.
No, pizza. I mean. Anyway, Hey, gentlemen, this has been a stream.
That was
now.
it.
Nostalgia 64. We know we've all found you. We've been finding you. We know we can find you on the very channel this video's on. Now, Locrian, you mentioned that
I
you're one of those
do
streaming
stream.
folk.
It's literally, so the way this whole thing started with streaming is I would just play video games, and then I saw like a go live button on Xbox. I was like, oh, okay, I might as well do it. And
That's cool.
basically every time I sit down, I just push the go live button because it's fun. So
Nice.
twitch.tv Locrian_ICO. I bet you could attach it to the description also or something.
Yeah,
But-
Nostalgia put links for us. And then
Yep.
I'm Hey from Gruxton. I have a channel. Well, it's an ongoing narrative of me and wacky characters. It's centered around retro games and game collecting to a degree. Go find my weird videos. Hey from Gruxton.
And
I
nostalgia,
will be back eventually.
will we expect
Yeah.
more videos from you in the future?
Yeah, I'm kind of working on one right now.
Ooh.
So like, here's the thing. I've been dealing with like writer's block, but I'm working on the Dreamcast video. To basically kind of explain it, because the Dreamcast was so weird and obscure. Of course, it had a bunch of weird games, and they're not talked about enough. Especially Super Magnetic Neo. I bought that game recently. I love it. I hate it. It's difficult. I want to talk about it. Expect
Nice.
Expect that sometime soon.
Yep.
Nostalgia, I was inspired by your video. I'm going to make one. Why everything after the Pong console sucks. Expect that soon.
All right.
It's like a flying
this
too
is-
close to the sun situation. It's like we had it too good. You
Yeah.
squandered it all. Yeah. All right.
Well, gentlemen, we've been free, entertaining, dignified, content creating men, and we have fucking laid down the flag. Everybody, subscribe to my channel and be in Locrian's chats when he's streaming.
And subscribe to Nostalgia. We are going to 1,000. We're gonna do it.
Oh yeah, they
Yeah.
said Nostalgia, you'll never get past 64, and he said fucking wait and see, motherfucker. Yeah, he's now changing his name to Nostalgia 500.
Yep.
All right, gentlemen, this has been fun.
This has been great.
Peace.